When I tell people that I work at a synagogue, nobody ever says to me, "So what's your synagogue's motto?" Because synagogues generally don't have a motto. But we kind of do at Sinai. After all, it's on the corner of the building. It's the prayer that has literally spread all over the world. Everywhere I go, people sing the same melody that Meir Finkelstein wrote many years ago for Sinai's motto. It's why we have a religious school and a day school and a Chai society and an Atid group. The motto is Ledor Vador, from generation to generation. Except that actually is not a literal translation of the motto. Medor, Lidor would be from generation to generation, but Lidor Vador means generation and generation, literally. And I like to think of that in English because generation has different meanings in English. It doesn't only mean a group of people in time, it also means to create something like a generator. And so we have both here. We have generation that is creativity. I mean, this may not surprise you, but my grandparents were never at a Friday Night Live or a Saturday Morning Live. I think they would have liked it, actually. Surprisingly, in my family, the grandparents were less religious than the grandchildren. My father was a rabbi, but my father's father was a vaudevillian. He was a song and dance man on the stage. Maybe it's the same thing, I don't know. But my father ended up more religious than his parents. And so it's generation and generation. We take from our grandparents, but our circumstances are always different. In fact, I will tell you a story that I don't know that I've ever told. But why not? It's just us, right? The first time my parents, may they rest in peace, because both of them have since passed on, but the first time they came to a Friday Night Live, and Craig played and everybody sang, my mother, gave my father the elbow and said, "Why didn't you ever do this?" And I remember my father saying, "Elaine, I couldn't do that in my synagogue," which was true, but they really enjoyed it. Things change through the generations. We know that. And yet, we read the Shema this morning, and the first thing the Shema tells us is teach your children these things. Ledor Vador, from generation to generation. That's what the Jewish tradition is really about, in a way, by the way, that other traditions don't understand. Because we're not a religion, we're a religious family. And families have to transmit generation to generation to generation. Grandparents to grandchildren. When I think about my grandparents, so much of my life, so much of your life is different from the lives that our grandparents led. But so much of what they held dear and believed in is what we hold dear and believe in. Some things are better, some things are worse, but there are certain things that stay the same, Ledor Vador, from generation to generation. And our community stands for the things that we hand on, one to another to another. Maybe they're expressed a little differently. Now they're expressed with a guitar, then with an organ, then with no music at all. Now they're said in Hebrew and English. Once they were said in another language, in another place along with Hebrew. Maybe it was Yiddish, maybe it was Farsi, maybe it was Ladino, but still the messages are the same. And the prayers that our bat mitzvah sang this morning, they've been sang for thousands of years. And maybe they weren't sung by a bat mitzvah, because that's only about 100 years old. But the message is the same. Vador, Vador, from generation to generation. Yes, we generate new forms. But since what we speak is God's word, some things never change and never will. Vador, Vador.